Ready? Look up here, please. Go take forward, guys. We're in very interesting unit. Because it's a area, it's a practical unit. It's every lesson you will do in this unit will have some sort of practical application. Starting today, I'm going to figure out if I can hire a contractor to place tile in a bathroom. Okay? I'm going to see if you can use those amazing math skills to figure out if we can tile a bathroom. That's going to be class. This is unit, which means there's a lot of memorization. That note, because it's so algebraic, going to cycle three quizzes. That means if on these quiz dates, you're not responsible on that. I get an extra. Got it? You have to be responsible. You might want to. Got it? Even if that's Google Doc link, etc. So your first quiz is going to be next week on the 27th. All right? Are we clear?
Wait, what day?
I don't know. I think that's Friday. Friday? Might be Thursday. Thursday it is. Something like that. All righty, guys. Okay, we'll figure it out later. Ready? Today we are learning about the area equations of the quad family tree. Here you have your generic quad. There's no specific equation for that. But I want you from 1 minute and write down as many of these that you have memorized. Go. Do not say it out loud. Let people do their own thinking. We're on the front now. In 1 minute, if you didn't watch the videos, I'd prefer that you randomly guess. If you did not watch the videos, I prefer that you randomly guess at least. Those that you do know. Half of those you should know. Yep, ready to go? All righty. Mitchell, area of a parallelogram. Kind of. It's call the length there base. And then our width we call what? Bingo. And the reason why we use base and height here is because height always creates a right angle. So in all your equations, when you see the word H, and you're going to have a lot of them, always kind of an angle? Right angle. Okay, Taylor, give me a rectangle. Yep, we call it both. Okay, so we can call it length times width, right? But there is a right angle here. So technically we could also call it base times height. Nope. Nope, not for that one. I'll take either. Okay? All right, Holly, give me a square man. Technically length and width, but your length and your width are both just the same length. So I call it side what, ma'am? Bingo. Okay. Going over this way. Let's see, let me peg egg guy. Cole, give me a trapezoid, buddy. Yes, we average the bases there because we have two different ones. Good call, Cole. So average those bases. Cole times the what? height, and remember, height always creates a right angle. Okay, isosceles trapezoid is the exact same thing. A rhombus and a kite have the same equation because they have a right angle in the middle. I'll take a volunteer for that one. What is it? Okay, Holly, give it to me there. It's not a plus there. It's a, yes, ma'am. You multiply the diagonals and divide by 2, and they have the same equation because they both have right angles on the inside. See, when all these equations to memorize, if you remember how things are related, the fact that a rhombus and a kite have perpendicular crossbars, then that's less for you to memorize. Okay, we're going to do 3 problems together, then I'm going to cut you loose. Ready? In this space, right here in that empty space, I'd like you to write down the equation for a parallelogram. Go. Area of a parallelogram. Write it down. Did you write it? Okay, put your pencil down, put your fist in front of you. I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to answer that question. Thumbs up means yes, thumbs down means no. Answer instantaneously the minute I ask it. Don't look around and don't succumb to peer pressure. Ready? I asked you for the equation of a parallelogram. Is that the correct equation? Yes or no?
No.
Now, listen very, very carefully. What is the equation? Equation has a equal sign. So once that. This spelling is. Two sides with an equal sign. Again, equations have 2 sides with a equal sign. I beg you, always, 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 always write it with both sides. On that note, now we just trace it out. So we're going to physically trace the base. And because it's straight up horizontal, you can just look at your x coordinate, look at your y, excuse me, your other x, and you can just go from -2 to +4, and that distance would be out loud what? Okay, 6. Now let's trace our height. Height is completely vertical this time. So we look at our y coordinates, and you just look at what this would be from -3 down to 6. How many units? 3, and its distance is always positive there, so you don't say -3. Area equals, and we've got 18, no units, you just write units squared, and life is good. Okay? Put one arm up, say base. Go like this, straight, horizontal, guys, put it up. Ready? Make your height, say height. Okay, now this was super easy because it was horizontal, so you just bunny hop. It was completely vertical, you just bunny hop again. Ready? Now take your parallelogram and tilt it. Now, if this was tilted on a coordinate grid, I'd like you to have a very short discussion. You can't just bunny hop now. How would you find the length of your base and height? Talk with the neighbor. If this was tilted, what would you do then? Go. If you tilt it, you have to use the distance equation to find your base and your height. So just keep that in mind, guys. That was easy because it was just horizontal, vertical. All righty. Ready? Read out the equation for the area of a trapezoid, please. Equations have 2 sides with a equal sign. Do not touch your calculators. No touch of the calculator for 4th grade math. We're going to do it longhand. Okay, ready? Again, it's horizontal, so you can just check your x coordinates going from -3 to +3. Out loud, what's our first B? Down here, we're going from -5 to +6. What is that out loud? And straight down, you look at your verticals. You're going from 4 to -1. Our height is 5. Okay. So now we're going to add this up. Okay, before you freak out over fourth grade math, okay, you think in terms of money, because most of you handle money, you think in terms of money. I got 7. If you had to split that $17, I know you do, but I asked you not to use a calculator. If you were to take that $17 and split it between 2 friends, you have 10 seconds to figure out how much money each person gets and writes it down. Write it down. No, you're just being generous and splitting $17 between 2 friends. Write it down. Okay, tell a neighbor how much money each friend's getting. Okay, so we're getting $8.50. Actually, write it with the 50 because you know money. You're like, that's why I want a calculator. It's a decimal. No, watch carefully. You just break it down. We are going to do 5 times 8 out loud. I know that you can do that. Okay, great. And now you're going to do 5. You have 50. People thinking time. 10 seconds. Tell a neighbor, 5 of 50 cents. How much money? Yeah, it's $2.50, and then we just add it up. So our final answer is 42.5. Check for units, no units, units squared. Behold, you can do 4th grade math without a calculator. 42.5, because we added 250 to the 40. Okay, last one. This is a rhombus. Step number 1, I'd like you to write out the rhombus equation. Go. Now we're going to physically trace the diagonals. That 10 there is only from there to there. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have area equals, trace the blue diagonal. Out loud, what is the blue diagonal? Okay, trace the green diagonal. Do you have anything there? Put a box there. We're going to come back to it over 20. So now we got to work on that green here. Let's see what we can do. What kind of angle's in the middle, friends? Out loud? 90 degrees, right angle, which means, behold, a blessed right triangle, which is the key to everything in geometry. I'm going to bring this X over here. You have 2 sides. You need 3rd side. The bag. All righty. So we're going to go over here. Okay, it is a whole number. So I don't want to freak you out the first day. Ready? Go ahead. Solve for X. Yes, you may touch a calculator at this point. Go. I'm going to land on someone in about 30 seconds. George, what'd you get, buddy? X equals 24. Now, remember, that's not our blank there. What do we have to do to that 24 to get the whole diagonal? Thank you, sir. We got 48. And rather than do 20 times 48, because the key to multiplying is not multiplying. It's factoring. I'm going to put a 10 there. And I check for units. No units given, units squared, life is good. That's about how hard that gets today. Excellent. I'm glad you asked. Did you get solve for X yet? 24. Okay, and then you just trace it. All righty, guys? All righty, I want you in your assigned quads. So roll back in your assigned quads, except for the 2 people that I moved around because we had people absent. I want you in your assigned quads today, please. Helping your assigned quad people. Get to you help, and I'm going to come around and help you guys. We are going to, let's see, when are we out of here? Hang on, let me stop.